Coming up on EPFA News. 20 years of longevity in the sport and still more to come. This architectural technology student tells about his football career so far. We hear about the Malmo Open that took place digitally this year. We hear about an exciting learning opportunity that we will be offering soon. And finally, we are delighted to hear from friends from a different part of the world. Welcome. This is EPFA News. When you hear someone say they have been involved in power chair football for 20 years, then they must have enjoyed many great moments during those times.
Hello everyone, my name is Rihin and I play for Aspire Power Chess Football Club. I first got involved in the sport about 20 years ago when I used to attend summer sports camp at the Aspired National Training Centre in Stanmore. I then left because I still had use of my legs, so I was able to kick a football around, and I was able to play pan-disability football instead, which I preferred. But as my condition got gradually worse, I had to stop playing that. And then when I went to university, I wanted a sport to play because I was studying sports science at the time. So I went back to trying out power chair football about 12 years ago, and ever since then I've been hooked on it. I used to play for a team called Evergreen in the National League, and more recently I've been playing for Aspire since 2018. So I've been involved in the sport for the past 20 years on and off. My first stint was from about 2001 to 2002, and then I had a break in between, and then I went back in 2019 to try it out again, and since then I've loved it. So Aspire play in the National League in England. We also play in the WFA Cup, and we've been fortunate enough to qualify for the Champions Cup in 2018, but more recently in the postponed event that was supposed to happen last year. So being able to play for Aspire at an international event in Denmark in 2018, it was just an amazing experience. To be given the chance to do that, it was just absolutely dreams coming true. You know, everything that I wanted to happen within the sport for myself since I first started in 2019 became real. You know, to have a chance of playing against the best players in the world, some of the best players in the world. You know, these are why you take up a sport. My own performance, you know, I think the occasion got a bit to me, but the team's performance I was really happy with. You know, we made the semi-finals for the first time, only narrowly just missing out on making the final. So I felt as if we had a really good tournament back then. The things that I find exciting about power chair football, you know, to be able to score a goal in last minute, or to be able to have a good performance during a game, the sense of belief, the sense of winning, everything that comes with playing sport just makes power chair football so exciting. You know, we treasure the weekends away that we have with the sport when we're playing national leagues, and since COVID has happened, we haven't really been able to play at all. So it's coming up to about a year now since we've last been able to play the sport in this country. So hopefully come around March, April time, we'll be back on the training courts, getting ourselves ready, and hopefully not long after that, the National League can start to resume. I don't think that the 2020-2021 season will go ahead, so we'll be able to maybe start again having friendly matches in the not so distant future. My most memorable goal or match that stands out to me, or this is a tough one because there's been so many great moments, so many memorable goals and matches that have stood out for me. One of the most memorable moments for me was my first weekend with Aspire, scoring one of my first goals against the Throssels. We were 1-0 down, and I managed to assist in a goal, and then then score a goal myself to put us 2-1 in front. And I just had the best match of my entire career in that game, I believe. And then we followed it by beating West Brom, the defending champions, in the next game after that. So that's another memorable match for me. Another memorable moment was when I was playing for Evergreen, and we were in the semi-final of the WFA Cup, and we were taking on Aspire at the time, and we went 1-0 down early on. We came back and we were 2-1 up, and we just had 3 minutes to go, but Aspire being Aspire just came back, and they were just too good for us on the day. But it was incredible, and since then, just every single match that you get the chance to play for Aspire or any of the big teams, they're just all memorable to me. I just love it. It's just incredible. What would I like to achieve in this sport? One day I'm hoping that I can get selected to play for England in an international competition, represent my country. I'd like to win the league in our country first, and I'd like to we would like to win the Champions Cup. To play alongside Johnny Bolden, it's just an incredible experience. Some of the things that he does on the court, you just think, how on earth have you managed to do that? He does his little shimmies here and there. I think the last time he done that was in the World Cup in Florida. And another one of the greats is Marcus Harrison. Some of the things that boy can do, and you think, how have you just done that? How have you managed to do that? He just is an incredible player. Involved in power chair football. I love watching Manchester United play. I'm constantly watching them on TV. I like to go out with my mates to nice restaurants. I love food. What are my hopes for 2021? Well, my hopes are to get back onto the court playing power chair football, involved in regular training sessions. Thanks for watching.
Here we find another self-assured player who achieved massively already with his club and wants to do the same on the international stage in the future.
I got involved in power chair football when my occupational therapist told me about a new exciting sport happening in Dundee. I then got invited to an STV news report where I would advertise the sport with one of my teammates. I first joined Tayside Dynamos 8 years ago when it first started. Since Tayside Dynamos joined the league, we have had massive success winning the league title, League Cup, Scottish Cup on multiple occasions. Since we joined, the game has changed massively. New teams have joined, players have went from day chairs to sports chairs, and the overall skill level has improved massively. In the sport, I would like to play in the European Cup for Tayside Dynamos and represent Scotland at the World Cup, where hopefully we can make it one day. I am inspired by players that I've played against at an international level, as they are at a more advanced level, and hopefully that will be me someday. Living out the dream playing the sport that I have loved since a very young age. There hasn't been a specific goal or game that I can remember at the top of my head, as all the games that I've been involved in have been exciting. But there is one moment that I can remember. It's when me and the player went in for a challenge and collided, and both our chairs went over the ball and tipped. I had to wear an ice pack for the rest of the day, however I still managed to carry on and play the rest of the games that day. Outside chair football, I am studying architecture technology. I also enjoy watching my favourite team, Rangers, reading, cooking, and playing games, either board games or on the Xbox. My hopes for 2021 is to simply play football, poetry football again, as soon as possible, as it has been difficult due to the COVID restrictions.
Last year we had the great opportunity to make a connection with the prestigious European Parasport annual event held in Malmo in Sweden. In 2020 our good friends Denmark had crossed over to their Nordic neighbours to showcase and demonstrate what powerchair football was all about. This year, because of a pandemic, the physical Malmo Open could not happen, but in its place was a digital presentation to connect all the sports. We were delighted to receive an invitation to be part of the event, and were able to once again remind the audience of how the sport had developed in Nordic countries Denmark and Finland, and how both had hosted our two main national and club flagship competitions, and that our wish for the future was to see a Nordic Cup including a team from Sweden. We continue to be hopeful that these positive engagements with the Malmo Open event will see powerchair football being part of next year's, hopefully physical event, and for many years to come.
So we met a lot of interesting personalities in the parasport world today, but did we get answers to all of the questions asked? Maybe not. That's why Thomas and Lisa are back in the studio. Good to see you guys again.
Hi.
So what's this about?
Well, we've had questions from all over the world, and we're going to try to answer them here.
Yeah, the inbox was actually full of questions, and because we're not standing still in the development of the tournament, we want to show you some of the news.
Okay. Almost a dozen different sports in Malmö Open tournament. How do you choose a new sport on the program?
Well, during the years, the sports have been changing. We have some traditional sports like table tennis and swimming, and many more that's been on the program for a long time. And then we have newer sports coming in. When there's a new sport interested in entering the program, we always have a test year. So it never becomes an official sport from the second year. And also we need great interest from the outside, working with a sport federation. It can be from abroad or from locally in Sweden. They have an interest, and we're talking, and it's trying to develop it together, really.
At EPFA we have always been interested in our athletes achieving the best that they want from their activities on the court. But also we want to support our athletes and give them opportunity off the court when they are not playing power chair football. We are teaming up with the Johan Cruyff Institute to sponsor some participants on their online courses in sports. Courses in digital marketing, sports media, sponsorship and coaching.
We're living in a time of constant change when the sports industry is becoming increasingly more competitive. Its impact on the global economy increases every year, as does the need for new leaders capable of managing it. At the Johan Cruyff Institute, we offer you specialised education in sport management, sport marketing, sponsorship, football business and coaching. But above all, we prepare you to build a more social, critical, innovative and ultimately better world in which common sense, pragmatism, intuition and optimism prevail. We believe that challenges are best faced together as a team, with everyone inspiring each other for the benefit of all. We have the tools, the experts and the professional connections to pass on our unique knowledge of the sports industry. We are open to the world and promote the international exchange of ideas between students. That is why some of the best professionals have received education at our institution and continue to work together to solve the challenges of the present and the future. We have educated more than 9,000 students. Will you join us? Educating the next generation of leaders in sport management.
We will be looking to sponsor our first course very soon, coming up in March. We are going to travel out of zone now, to meet our friends from Mexico who have made such great strides, and who are eager to learn from our European teams.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Mi nombre es Alberto Martínez García y me toca presidir Power Chair Fútbol México, Asociación Civil.
Hola, yo soy Rebeca Garza Buerón y soy la vicepresidenta de Power Chair.
Hola, soy Alejandro Maldonado, soy consejero fundador de Power Chair Fútbol México y director ejecutivo de la Confederación Americana de Power Chair Fútbol.
Hola, soy Andrés Guerra Gómez, soy miembro del Consejo de Power Chair Fútbol México y también me desempeño como encargado deportivo en todo lo relacionado a cancha y organización de la liga.
¿Cómo llega Power Chair Fútbol a nuestro país? Hago contacto con unos amigos de la Fundación Atrofia Muscular Espinal con sede en Córdoba, Argentina, y me platican que su hijo juega un deporte que es fútbol en silla de rueda motorizada. Es así como, viendo videos de este deporte, empiezo yo a hacer las primeras gestiones con la sede de la American Power Football Confederation para buscar traer este deporte a nuestro país. La razón de traer este deporte y este proyecto a México es muy simple. Primero que todo, el poder tener la ilusión de ver a mi hijo jugar este bello deporte del fútbol, y también de poder llevar a tantas personas aquí en México esa oportunidad de que puedan ellos también sentir lo que es la práctica de un deporte de alto rendimiento como lo es Power Chair.
En febrero 25 del 2018 tuvimos la clínica número 1 de Power Chair, en donde nada más teníamos 5 jugadores y éramos 5 personas las que estábamos apoyando esta clínica. Nos trajimos a Hannah, que ella viene desde Brasil, a explicarnos cómo se juega Power Share. En ese momento no teníamos nada. Fueron 3 días de esta clínica, y ahí es donde Tigres se engancha con este proyecto, y estuvimos trabajando tanto como Rayados con Tigres para invitarles a este proyecto. Y Tigres fue el que se suma. ¿En qué momento? En la inauguración. Que la inauguración de Power Share fue en la segunda clínica de ese mismo año, fue en agosto 3, un viernes, y el sábado y el domingo, en agosto 5 del 2018, fue la inauguración. Antes de la inauguración, a una semana antes de la inauguración, llegaron 8 sillas. Nosotros íbamos a vender este proyecto, buscar jugadores, tener a las personas que quisieran participar y buscar patrocinios para poder tener estas posibles sillas. Pero aquí en este proyecto Los Ángeles aparecen y una persona se suma con nosotros a este proyecto, nos donan 8 sillas. Estas sillas llegan una semana antes de la inauguración y fue algo que pues fue el kickoff, ¿no?, para poder iniciar en este proyecto. Esta inauguración fue el 5 de agosto del 2018 en el Colegio Americano, el cual también se suma como sede oficial de Power Share. Se pensaba que nada más los jugadores iban a subirse a las sillas y hacer como una demostración de cómo se funcionaban estas sillas. Estas sillas, aquí tenemos un molde que nos regalaron, nos hicieron. Esto es un tipo de la silla en la que ellos utilizan. Y los jugadores ahora por primera vez se subieron un viernes 3 de agosto. Probaban estas sillas, las manejaban, veían las velocidades. El sábado volvieron a ir a entrenar. Y el domingo nos sacaron una sorpresa porque literal fue un juego lo que hicieron. No fue una demostración, hubo un juego padrísimo. Tuvimos la cantidad de casi 500 personas en la inauguración como invitados. Estuvo padrísimo esa inauguración. Ya en octubre tuvimos una llamada en donde nos invitan a participar para ir a San Antonio a competir con 3 equipos en esta localidad. Tigres en este día, después de la inauguración, se suma, va a la sede oficial de Power Share y habla con los jugadores, les da sus uniformes porque íbamos a representar al equipo de Tigres en San Antonio. Llegamos a San Antonio en el 2019, la primera vez que salíamos a competir, estuvo padrísimo ese torneo. Y en el 2019 de ese año, en agosto, nosotros ya estábamos trabajando también para desarrollar Power Share en Saltillo y inauguramos la sede en Saltillo, que son los Kickapaus. Al día de hoy, en esta 2020, hemos estado trabajando para desarrollar un equipo en Pachuca y un equipo en Chihuahua. Y pues la idea es nosotros poder expandir todo lo que es Power Share a nivel nacional.
Buscamos expandir nuestra liga por todo el país y actualmente contamos con 6 ciudades, ya con avances importantes en términos de organización y de capacitación de parte de nuestro consejo. Hemos estado llevando a cabo clínicas virtuales con mucho éxito y hemos logrado que las instituciones con las que nos apoyamos hagan una relación con órganos gubernamentales, con iniciativa privada, con marcas y sobre todo con equipos ligados al deporte del fútbol, particularmente equipos profesionales de cada lugar. Y esa fórmula nos ha ido funcionando bastante bien. Esa misma dinámica la hemos llevado a cabo en la Confederación Americana de Power Chair Football. Pertenezco al comité de expansión de la misma y hemos estado ya en contacto con países como Costa Rica, Ecuador y Chile, estableciendo las bases para llevar nuestro hermoso deporte a esos países.
De febrero del 2018 a la fecha, contamos cerca de 40 jugadores que van desde inclusión social y recreativo para luego pasar a participar en la cancha y posteriormente llegar a tener competencia. Desde un inicio hemos tenido el apoyo muy fuerte del equipo Tigres de fútbol de Primera División de México, siendo el primer equipo oficial en Power Chair Fútbol México. También al día de hoy contamos con 3 equipos, el Tigres, que ya hemos hablado de él, también contamos con el equipo de Power Chair y también contamos con el equipo de Kikapau en Saltillo. Estamos en busca de jugadores para poder tener inicialmente nuestra liga local. Queremos hacerlo en nuestra ciudad natal de Monterrey. Actualmente tenemos 2 equipos, no organizados como liga, sin embargo, cada mes tenemos una interescuadra totalmente formal, con árbitros, en el cual los jugadores se muestran sus habilidades. En la clínica 1 de Kikapau, que se llevó a cabo en agosto del 2019, su servidor impartió la clínica a árbitros en esa ciudad, teniendo 3 personas, que esas personas son las que actualmente nos acompañan cada último domingo del mes y ellos realizan la función de arbitraje con nosotros. Actualmente somos 6 personas que estamos al tanto del arbitraje y sí queremos para finales de este 2021 tener cerca de 10-12. La forma en que nosotros mantenemos unida a la gente o la comunidad del Power Chair Fútbol México es por medio del chat, donde semana a semana tratamos de interactuar con ellos, haciéndole media hora de preguntas o mandamos un video. Asimismo, el equipo Tigres, todos los domingos a las 11 de la mañana hay una interacción virtual vía Zoom, en donde el profesor Onofre y el profesor Julio Esquivel y su servidor estamos al pendientes de ellos y estamos interactuando con ellos. También hemos tenido enlaces vía Zoom con Argentina, especialmente con los Tigres de Córdoba, también con Uruguay y también hemos tenido con España, donde nuestros jugadores y sus jugadores interactúan y platican y crean una amistad y intercambiamos opiniones de cómo ha sido el proceso en Power Chair. Dentro de nuestros domingos de entrenamiento virtual hemos visto mucho Francia, Inglaterra. Sin embargo, por nuestra cercanía, nuestro estilo de juego va más rumbo a la zona de América. Tuvimos la fortuna de mandar a nuestros entrenadores a la Copa Libertadores en Brasil del 2019, en donde se trajeron allá muy buenas ideas. Incluso ya rompimos la idea de tener un portero de planta y a partir de la llegada de nuestros entrenadores actualmente manejamos un portero ambulante, cosa que incluso Uruguay todavía no la realiza. Entonces hemos crecido muy bien en cuestión de nuevas formas de jugar el Power Chair y ténganlo por seguro que México no tarda en estar en mundiales junto con ustedes. Muchísimas gracias por su tiempo. Aquí estamos para servirles. Que ruede la acción.
Remember, get in contact with EPFA News at the email below, and until next time, take care.